Hello guys, it's WazzaTZK, and today we're going to be taking a look at some Killing Floor hot takes. And to be fair, I do have some hot takes of my own, and of course most of them will annoy somebody, and I'm sure some of these hot takes might annoy some other people, but just keep in mind this is a bit of a fun video just to see what people actually think. So yeah, if you do disagree with something, don't give them hate for it, it's just their opinion. But yeah, surprisingly I had a lot of comments about the specialist system. I wonder why. But aside from that, let's start with the simple ones and work our way up. So Frunk5623 says most bosses in Killing Floor 2 kinda suck. I mean, that's not really a hot take, that's just true. I mean, they all suck, to be honest. They're a bit of a pushover. I'd say Matriarch and Patriarch might be the hardest for new players, but to be fair, if you've got the Abomination and King Fleshpound, it's just a walk in the park. Only the King Fleshpound and the Abomination suck. Hans, Patty and Mummy are cool. This guy just called the Matriarch Mummy, alright. But yeah, basically that is the gist of it. Moving on, next comment from Ashley Holland 9607. I don't mind the new system they're doing. Experimenting is not a bad thing in my opinion. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I mean, I do have a few issues with that statement, but I mean, you know, experimenting is definitely not a bad idea. Of course, you need to try something new every time, don't they? Or else it's going to be the same Killing Floor game over and over again. I can see why that might be good. But there's some things that just aren't very good to be implemented. I think it goes back to that saying, really, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And for me and many others, the regular perk system wasn't really broken. I mean, they did sort of fix the perk system, actually, in Killing Floor 3. You know, you got more levels with it, now you can go up to level 30. And you actually got like more choices per perk skill. That's an actual fix, but if you don't like it, don't buy it. I mean, I know some people actually really want Killing Floor 3, but the only problem is the specialist system. That's really the only thing that's wrong with it. The Zeds, the weapon mods, like the actual progression and stuff, actually does look really good. In my opinion, the only thing really holds me back is the specialist system. See, I don't mind it, the specialist system personally, but I am a bit off and on with it actually. I actually don't even know what I think of it. Some days I do feel like they could have just removed it, some days I don't mind it. It's a bit weird one. And yeah, next comment from Rage Critters UK, who is also a Killing Floor YouTuber, go check him out. So my hot take is deal with the specialist system. I have a feeling that they're here to stay. Tripwire would have walked them back by now if they planned on changing things, and I'm certain something would have been communicated if such a big change to the game was planned. March is looming here. I mean, the thing is, with Killing Floor 3, you can still sort of have a specialist system, but let people pick their characters. I'm pretty sure they're locking gadgets to certain perks, which is understandable as they do different roles. But like characters and stuff, it's a bit, not too sure. I mean, one thing I will say is at least it is new characters and not old characters locked to perks yet. I know we've only had Foster, but considering we've had some new Killing Floor 3 characters, and to be fair, they are only new, so we're not fully attached to them. I don't mind them. I don't really have any sympathy for them yet. But then again, they could be annoying, and they could have a really annoying personality or voice lines that makes the perk literally unbearable to play. But yeah, I mean, then again, going back to the point made before, people do agree. People do pretty much agree, remove specialist system. And yeah, I think you're right in saying they're going to be sticking with it. Which, you know, I am a little bit mixed on it, like I said before. Like, I don't mind it, but at the same time, I'm worried about it because it affects the actual game. And March is certainly looming as well. We don't even know how the game's going to turn out when March comes, or even the closed beta. Hopefully the game doesn't die on arrival, which, you know, would be a massive shame. Right, finally, last but not least, Simols Denam 3i, I think that's how you say it, basically has written a whole paragraph about the specialist system, which I'm going to break down paragraph by paragraph, rather than reading it all together. So, the whole specialist thing being banned isn't even really that bad. Oh god, everybody get their pitchforks out. No, I'm kidding, don't do that. As tying the characters to classes has no real impact on the gameplay in any real sense. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really give you any in-game abilities, I suppose, as you are only a character. I mean, apart from, you know, grappling and stuff. But it doesn't give you a massive advantage, I'd say. So if I play as Mr. Foster only as Commander in Killing Floor 2, then only as Ray Higgins as Medic, and basically have a select person for each class, it wouldn't change any of the gameplay for Killing Floor 2 in the slightest. That's the complaints of the specialist system I see from KF Vets, and it's freaking silly and frantically stupid in my honest opinion. I mean, I know people do like to change their characters a lot. Me personally, I just stick to one character because I don't bother really changing it. I basically customize the character like once or twice, never really do anything with it. So I mean, yeah, for me, I'm not too bothered with the change. I'll basically just play whatever character like I get, because I never really had like a, you know, set structure with the characters, like I want to be this guy for this person. It seems more to me that the KF community has more of a lack of trust based on past actions like microtransactions in the early access of Killing Floor 2 or loot boxes. With that, it actually makes some sense, so my thing is make your complaints about that, not tying characters to a class. Because the specialist complaints in of themselves just make no sense at all, the lack of trust actually does, and if so, just wait and see how the game does first. If it sucks, no harm, no foul on your hands personally, but if not, you are good. You see, the thing is with that, I feel like it's two different things, the DLC loot box and the specialists, because the microtransactions don't really affect in-game, it's more of like a side thing you can purchase, whereas I feel like the specialists like basically affect a core component of the game, if that makes sense. And I do see where you're coming from actually with the trust. I can see why that's got people a bit on the edge. Also, the things at this point are going to sink in Floor 3 are bad gameplay decisions, like how it's previously said they were at first intending to make it so you could only use the weapons in your class, like no sharpshooter using medic. That was changed and you will no longer be required to have that. If that stayed, that would have ruined Killing Floor 3 more than specialists ever could. Yeah, that would have been another nail in the coffin for the game, but luckily they did reverse that. I do hope they do reverse the specialist system, but I know they won't. And you see, that's the thing, they're sort of fixing it, but not really. But then again, even I'm not too sure about the specialist system. It is just one of those things I have to wait and see and just find out if it is good, because you can only really play the game to actually figure out rather than like watching trailers and stuff. I know there is quite a lot of unanswered questions as well with the trailers. I know quite a few people are asking where Z time is. You know, I've definitely got a few questions about some stuff which might be answered like when it actually comes to in-game. So a lot of the stuff might we ask now might actually, you know, get answered when we play the game. Also, major bugs and lack of polish would soon ruin Killing Floor 3 more than those things too. That's another thing that's going to make the game terrible, really. The only real buggy thing is the animations. I actually don't see very many buggy stuff in the actual gameplay itself. I mean, yeah, the animations might be a bit whack, but it's not like game breaking, if you get what I mean. I mean, I know obviously the weapon animations could be better, as we've seen in Killing Floor 2. And I know this game has been in development for actually quite a few years, hence why the last couple of updates for Killing Floor 2 weren't that great. And the thing is as well, they are using Unreal Engine 5, so I can sort of see where that point comes from, because Unreal Engine 5 can be a bit buggy. I do actually have confidence that Tripwire can make a non-buggy game, because they do tend to polish their games before publishing them, hence why I've been waiting for Killing Floor 3 for so long. If they had released it last year, at the end of December, like for example, then yes, it would be buggy. But I honestly do feel like this will be quite polished. I know with quite a lot of their titles, they do polish them like a lot, like rather than game industries these days who just release slop. The KF community also has the wrong mindset with balance. They treat balance with a PvP, player vs player mindset, rather than a player versus everyone. You see the difference with a community that actually understands the two with Helldivers. A much better community versus KF community, in my honest opinion. I mean, if you think that's bad, you should see the Call of Duty community. I mean, that is a whole tin of beans in itself, but I know that is something I do hope Killing Floor 3 actually has, is weapon balancing. The DLC weapons are pretty overpowered. I know quite a lot of the HRG weapons in Killing Floor 2 were quite overpowered. So yeah, hopefully they do actually have some kind of weapon balancing. I'm pretty sure the weapons were balanced towards the start of the game, but then, you know, more updates, you know, the more unbalanced things got. But hopefully they can retain that. long comment, but I guess I got all the hot takes for this one. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you very much. I will keep going. Thank you again for the comment. Very detailed. And yeah, that is it basically. If you have any more hot takes, do leave them down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join Discord if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.